You're watching 7-Stage Success with L Gould. And now, here is your host, L Gould.
I said, look, you don't look right. You look like a tourist without wearing a jacket, so put some clothes on when you walk around here. Because for me, this is like summer. It was 15 degrees when I left New Jersey before I came here. But I wanted to talk tonight about how you guys can generate revenue in your business right away within the next 90 days, given how people buy in this market. All right? Would that be valuable, by the way?
Yes.
All right. Everyone have one of these?
Yes.
Anyone not? All right, just keep your hands up. You can't have my copy, but Kendra's coming around. Just hold your hand up, Kendra will come around and make sure you have that. That's the notes or a little format of the presentation we're going to go through. I put together some slides, but we have a tree instead, so we're going to go through the handout. All right. Now, Kendra. All right. Here she comes. 2 up front, and that would be a big help. Just do these. If you could do these 2 up front. All right, cool. Excellent. Thank you. Let's give a hand to Kendra. That's right. All right. Now, we've gone through some very volatile times, and as you all know, and Phoenix has been hit just as hard as everywhere else, especially in the real estate market. But there comes a time in your business where you're at the mercy of the economy versus you control your economy, meaning you control whether or not you're making money or not. And I'm here to tell you that it's not about the economy. I'm not saying that things haven't gotten tough, and I'm not saying it hasn't affected some people, but you do not have to be at the mercy of the economy. What happened about 5 years ago is people purchase differently than they purchased when you were weaned on business. And you have to be ready for that time. And the times have changed significantly in how people buy over the last 5 years. So it's not about your product, it's not about the economy, it's not about the currency, it's not about where you live, or whether you're a man or you're a woman, or you're tall or you're slim or you're fat or you're dumb or you're smart or whatever. You have to position it in such a way that the way people buy now. So I'm going to give you 5 strategies that will put you in line for how people purchase right now. Would that be valuable?
Yes.
All right. So here's what I'd like you to do. I want you to turn to a neighbor. I want you to give them a high five and say, wait for it. Wait for it. Jumping the gun over there. Early adopter. Turn to a neighbor. And when I say so, give them a high five and say, you are going to make money in the next 90 days, and I find that quite sexy. Brings networking to a whole new level, doesn't it? Get some love in there. By the way, man, I have your card. Was that as good for you as it was for me? Right? All right. Well, it's very appropriate that we're in winter on the calendar. And just as there are seasons on the calendar, there are seasons in business. Okay? And for the last 500 years that this has been tracked, business has followed a very predictable cycle. We get into certain seasons, we get out of certain seasons. We work our way through them very predictably, and there's only been one exception in the last 500 years. Now, this could be exception number 2, but it's not playing out that way. All right? So I'm going to walk you through the seasons. I want you to understand what they are, because how people buy is paramount to what you're doing. You're not charging too much or too little. Maybe a discount's a good idea. Maybe it's not. Maybe selling to scarcity is a good idea. Maybe it's not. By the end of the talk, you'll know which is the best way to sell your product and service and at which price point. Maybe barter's a good idea. Maybe it's not. We'll find out. Depends on the season. So some people, I love barter. Great. Some seasons that'll feed you, and some seasons you'll starve. Okay? This happens to be one of the seasons that will feed you if you're bartering, by the way. So, there's 4 seasons. And just like seasons of nature, we have seasons in business. So the first season is spring. Okay? Now, the last spring we went through was 1946 to 1964. Does that time frame sound somewhat familiar? How would we characterize people that were born during that time? Baby boomers. The baby boomers? Or a baby boomer generation? A baby boomer generation, just like there's been every 80 years for the last 500 years. The only difference is, this time it's the biggest group ever and the most affluent group ever. That's why things shot up so fast, and that's why things fell so hard. Okay, because every season it gets magnified. And these seasons come in about 80-year cycles. Okay? So in October of 2008, the financial markets crashed. All around the world, on average, about 36% of the equity came right out of the markets. October of 2008. So when was the last time that there was a financial meltdown of that magnitude in our past? 1929. What month?
October.
It's not a trick question. Go for it. October. Good guess. How many years between 1929 and 2008? Almost 80. 79 years. Pretty close. Pretty close. We're very predictable in how we buy, how we sell, when we get bored, when business works, and when it just doesn't. Now, so that was spring, 1946 to 1964. So spring is when you buy low. There's a lot of optimism out there. Everything is going so good. Everybody's happy. As a matter of fact, the group is so happy that most people don't complain about their own individual needs. Because they say, come on, everything's going so well. Why should I be the one to complain? Unemployment is low. Interest rates are low. Everybody's working. Everybody seems to have a house. All right? Then we go into summer. Summer, for us, was 1965 to 1985. How many of you here, by chance, are from New Jersey? Been there, spent any time there? A lot of time. Ah, very good, very good. Now, you'll really relate to what I'm about to say. In New Jersey, there's an unwritten law about tomato gardening. If you live in Jersey, you know what I'm talking about. If you live in New Jersey, you got to plant tomatoes. If you're no good at it, that's why you live in Arizona. Get you out of here, forget it. You can't cut it. Now, here's how you plant a tomato. You buy special dirt. You put the seeds in. You push it down with your fingers. Not too deep, otherwise they won't grow. Not too shallow, or they'll burn out. Okay, you know that if you lived in New Jersey. All right. So what you do is you till the soil. You put the little the seeds in there. You push them down just right. You water them. You pull the weeds. You say really nice things. You know, you're supposed to talk nice to your plants. And then as they grow a little bit, you put the stake in it so you can ravel it as it goes up. And then that's day one, and you think, huh, I'm a tomato gardener. Then you wake up the next day, and there's weeds all over the place. The damn thing's hanging over. There's no tomatoes on the plant. It's dry. You got to start the whole process over again. Right? That's the real reason people leave New Jersey. All right? Because we got a tomato garden. All right, so summer is like that. It's all about sweat equity, where you put the time in, you put the energy in, you even put the money in, but you don't get the result yet. Okay? My mother, in 1966, bought the house she still lives in today for $12,000. Today it's worth $700,000. Just inflation, you know, increase, you know, the whole bit. So 65 to 85 is all about toil. It's about working your butt off, but not necessarily getting the result right away. Then comes fall. 1985 to 2005 was fall. During fall, we're all geniuses. Look around the room, make eye contact with a genius. 5 years ago, you were the smartest people on the planet. You're damn right. Whatever we bought increased in value. I bought a stock, it went up. Ah, aren't I a good stock trader? Damn right I am. I bought real estate. Look around at all the empty buildings. You were smart then. Not so smart now, right? You bought it and it went up in value. Because during fall is the harvest. That's when, whether you're a good farmer or not, there are apples falling off the tree. They'll hit you in the head if you're even bad at picking them. Stand there long enough and your basket will be full. Now, how many of you here are 32 years old or younger? Oh, very nice. All right, so how many of you here are 32 and a half and older? All right, look around, 32 and a half and older. You were weaned on business in fall. During fall, people trade money for time. They pay more for convenience. You ever go to Disney World and they have the line that everyone waits in, and then they have the express line that you pay extra so you don't wait in line? You guys ever been to Disney World? You've heard of Disney World, right? I know it's on the East Coast. Disneyland, but okay, well, all right. All right, so people will pay more. They will trade their money for time during fall. So here's what you did in fall. You're a brilliant marketer because you own a store and you said, I'm going to discount the price 20%, put it right in front of the door. And everybody bought it. And you're like, ah, what a good idea. Aren't I smart? We're going to raise the price and we're going to put it in the back of the store, make people walk all the way across and buy it that way. And they bought it. And you said, ah, aren't I smart? Everybody buys everything in fall. Money is cheap. Everything is just going off the charts. Every fall in history for the last 500 years. So, most of you who will cut your teeth in business in fall, maybe your business right now is flat, down, choppy, or maybe you're, well, I wasn't in business back then. I had a job. I had a corporate job back then. Okay, fair enough. And you're out of work now. Victim of the fall. All right, but you were weaned on business during the fall when it's the easiest time to be a business genius. So that's why you 32 and a halfs and younger have an advantage. You weren't born in fall. You were weaned on business in winter. Now, winter started in about 2005. And it is, you can't predict the markets, but you can anticipate. And if it follows suit, winter is anticipated to go to 2023. How you liking me now?